American Family News, I'm Mr. Q. More information is coming to light about 19-year-old Ezekiel Kelly, who was suspected in a string of shootings in Memphis, Tennessee that left 4 people dead and several others injured. Griff Jenkins with more.
He should have been behind bars, not out on the street on a violent rampage. Here's what we know about his criminal past. In 2020, Kelly was charged with first-degree attempted murder, aggravated assault, employment of a firearm with intent to commit a dangerous felony, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. Now, he was sentenced to 3 years in jail, but only served 11 months after his attempted murder charge was downgraded to aggravated assault, and he was released in March of this year.
According to authorities, the recent rash of shootings spread across multiple crime scenes. There are also reports that the shootings were live-streamed on social media. California's grid operator warns that continuous record-high temperatures could lead to rolling outages. Kansas Senator Roger Marshall criticizes the state's energy policies, claiming they're expensive and unreliable.
I think energy policy, environmental policy, we should always talk about those together, but we have to take into account affordability and reliability.
A conservative activist and author says he is tired of the mainstream media continuing to denigrate those who advance the idea that the 2020 presidential election was stolen. Chad Groening has more.
With the 2022 midterm elections now exactly 2 months away, many conservative political observers are hopeful that the disastrous Biden administration is going to result in a red wave on November 8, with both the House and Senate flipping over to the GOP. But many of those same observers add a caveat: if the election is fair. Robert Knight is a conservative activist and author whose newest book is called Crooked: What Really Happened in the 2020 Election and How to Stop the Fraud. He says there is ample evidence that the 2020 election was stolen from Donald Trump.
They loosened election laws all over the country. They mailed out millions of ballots. They had unmanned ballot boxes all over Democratic districts. There are so many ways they cheated.
And Knight says he is tired of the constant drumbeats of denial by the left.
The mainstream media, like the New York Times and Washington Post, continue to denigrate so-called election deniers, who were just people who question the integrity of that election for good reason. They insert false, baseless, liberally in any article about the 2020 election in which someone questions whether it was done legally or not, whether it was rigged.
But Knight says his book also gives people hope that we can turn things around in 2022 and ways to do it. I'm Chad Groening.
Civil rights groups have filed a federal lawsuit over an Oklahoma law that requires students to use the bathroom for the gender they were assigned at birth. Chris Woodward has more.
The law in question has been referred to by Associated Press and other news outlets as anti-trans. State Senator David Bullard tells AFN it is not anti-trans, rather pro-privacy.
What we're doing is making sure that the 99% of the kids in the school that don't identify as something else don't have their privacy violated and are protected as well.
The lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court in Oklahoma City. Bullard has full confidence in the Attorney General of Oklahoma.
He has vowed to go after this and fight this. He was a proponent of 615, so they'll fight it, and they'll fight it the correct way. They'll fight it on a constitutional basis. They'll fight it on upholding of Title IX versus what they're trying to make it to be, which is against Title IX. They will fight this as a protection of Title IX and women's rights.
I'm Chris Woodward.
U.S. Defense Secretary Lord Austin announces $675 million in additional military aid to Ukraine.
The latest package includes more GMLRS, 105-millimeter howitzers, artillery munitions, HARM missiles, Humvees, armored ambulances, anti-tank systems, small arms, and more.
More news online at afn.net and on the AFN mobile app. I'm Rusty Q.